Hi, Debbie. Can you hear me?
Hi, Richard. Yes, I can hear you just fine. I'm only seeing a big black square, though. Are there tech issues today?
Richard, your talk button is not on. I can see your lips moving.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. I've set up multiple talkers, Richard, so if it's easier for you, you can just leave the talk button on.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, I was wondering about that, although I'm having a little bit of an issue with my, there we go, that's up. Okay, and okay, let me see if I can get all of these ready. And then there. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the share again. Okay, can you, do you see the popcorn maker up there now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So let's see, it's about 5 after, so we've got the 4 of us. Should we wait a little bit or just jump right in? What's the attendance been like in the other ones?
It's been varied. The first day we had only 2 or 3 in each session, and looks like Lee just joined us. Anyway, I think you should just go ahead and get started, Richard.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but I just wanted to see what the consensus was. Okay, essentially, what I've been doing is exploring the realm of how video can really impact instructional design. In particular, I think the technologies that are out there now related to video are becoming, you know, they're quite good. They're getting better, and they're really reaching a point where the interactivity of the videos themselves and then the composites that you can build with them it's pretty exciting. The 2 that I've found that I have and I've begun exploring, in no way feel like I'm an expert in either one. In fact, again, I see this whole session as a kind of a collaborative exploration of the space, of the instructional design video space. So feel free to jump in at any time. This is not like a lecture or a presentation in the traditional sense. It's much more of I see it as a give and take. The two applications that I really have found have the greatest potential is one called Popcorn Maker. It's part of the whole Mozilla universe, and it's also part of their effort to teach the web, as they say. And then the second one is Interlude FM. Has anyone here had experience with either one of these? Okay. Did Did you hear my question?
Yeah, people were replying by using the red X, and in chat, I used Popcorn Maker for just a couple little practice projects, not for really anything real.
Okay. And nobody's had interludeFM? Okay, so I think you're going to find both of these pretty exciting. But first, before we get started on that, if we could go around, I know most of us know one another, so rather than do introductions per se, could you just go ahead and jump on and share a little bit about how you're currently using video in your work?
Well, this is Katie. I'll jump in. In the College of Ed, you know, we have most of our classes have a lot of synchronous class time, and people aren't doing a ton with video. But in my role as instructional designer, I use it a lot when they, you know, want to show their students how to do something or some possible tools they might use for student projects. And I find that creating a video for the students is helpful, and that way they can rewatch it if they need to.
Good. Anyone else using video? And if so, how do you use it? Or correspondingly, how would you like to use it if you haven't quite gotten into it yet?
This is Lee.
I've used videos in a variety of ways. I've made videos for students to help them learn a particular concept or get back to them, short, quick videos, videos for instructors for the same purpose if they're having problems with a particular setup or something that they would like to do. Also in just general training, putting some of the professional development stuff that I've done onto videos. But most of that I've done through VoiceThread or Camtasia. So it's a little different, and I'm looking for some new tools or some new options that might be out there that may be a little easier or maybe a little more comfortable for faculty to use, even to create their own videos.
Lee or Stacy?
Let's see. I have a specific interest in that I have an instructor who's teaching a mixed delivery class, and he wants to do field trips. And of course, the students who are remote can't join in. And so I'm kind of looking for tools that might help with the field trip where the remote students can somehow be connected in. Other than that, I'm not sure what you mean by interactive video. How is it different from video conferencing, I guess? So I could use help with that sort of basic definition.
Okay, and that's part of what this presentation will be doing, is talking about the idea of getting beyond the video just as something that you watch, but that taking it to a multimedia and also interactive in the sense that you can have an effect on the video itself. And so I will, Lee, I'll go ahead and answer that question as I run through the two applications here shortly. Hi, Ann. Welcome. The question out there right now is, how are you currently using video? And then the follow-up to that would be, is there a particular idea that you have that you'd like to do that you're not doing now?
This is Stacy. I'm a career coach for the medical coding program here at Kodiak, and I was just looking for ideas since I'm going to be having to help students with their resume writing and interviewing techniques of any ideas that are available.
Okay, great. It looks like Anne might be setting up her video or her audio, so we'll go ahead and begin taking a look at. Anne, whenever you're ready, jump in. So right now on the screen, I'm sharing my screen with you, and you should be seeing Mozilla Popcorn Maker. The first thing I'd like you to do is to go ahead on your own computers, if you have the wherewithal to do it, go ahead and open up an account of your own. It's popcorn.webmaker.org, and you should be able to log into an account or set up your own account, and it's a very easy process. So if anybody is having any problems with that, let me know. And while you're doing that, I'll also tell you another reason why I chose Popcorn as one of the apps that I'm exploring, because it's based upon what's called Popcorn.js. I teach programming, among other things, and the direction that we're headed with HTML5 and JavaScript it has an incredible amount of potential, and it's really taking off. And the entire Popcorn Maker itself is based upon open source code and a community of users who are continuously improving it. And you can actually, if you have any background in code at all, and in fact code is getting increasingly easy to learn, especially the scripting languages. Then you can literally, if something is not available in Popcorn, you can either go ahead and make it yourself, or you can find members of the community who would be willing to either do it for you or support your doing of it. I really like the idea of a community of practice. I think it's in many ways the future of education, and that's probably the best thing about the whole Mozilla Popcorn Maker experience. Has everyone been able to log in and open up their own Popcorn Maker application? Okay, looks like Stacy did.
It's fighting with me for my multiple Google accounts. It keeps telling me that, and I've used it before, but it keeps telling me if I'm already logged in with the other one and I can't log in. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's the reason I was hoping that you would have it, because I'd like to do a little bit of hands-on with this as well. The main purpose, given that we only have this hour and we're doing 2 applications, is really to introduce you to them. But one of the really nice things about the Popcorn application is how easy it is to use. The idea that to find something that's not quite as involved as maybe Camtasia, but not as simple as, say, screencast-o-matic or something. I think this one fits really well. Plus, as I said, the best thing about it is it's not a proprietary program like Camtasia. It's one that's open source, and I've watched its evolution, and you can really ask the community, hey, how can I do this? Or we're not able to do this yet. So, can we work on that?
I'm so sorry, this is Ann speaking. I'm so sorry I'm late. I think I have everything set up now, and I am on popcorn now.
Okay, excellent.
Did you want me to answer those questions regarding how I use video?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, yes, I teach online asynchronous courses out of Ketchikan. I'm an assistant professor of economics, and so anytime I hear of any new tools where I can use unique videos, I always like to check them out. All of my lectures are video lectures that I provide on Blackboard, and so I like to learn tools when it comes to video technology.
That's
Does that
great.
answer your question?
Okay. Yes, it definitely answered the question. Great, thank you. Okay, so go ahead and take a look. If you have your own version of Popcorn open, you can look at that, or you can look at the one on the screen here. You'll see it's divided into three major components. There's in the largest section on the left-hand upper side is what they call the canvas, and that's where everything will be presented as you build it. Down below, you see they call this the timeline, the time and task line. It's pretty similar to most of your typical video. It uses the layer system. It has a time here where you can shorten or lengthen it, and that's where you will organize the items that your content, the items you put in. And then if you go up into the right-hand column, you'll see at the very top media, events, and project. And the media is what any video or audio, HTML5, whatever it is you would like to add. And in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a copy of a video, and I paste it, and then you see I've pasted the link in, and then it shows the button there, Get Media, and I click on the Get Media, and it will go and it will find that media for me, and there it is. This is an aviator training video. It's about 5, 6 minutes long. And then you can grab that and you can take that and put it down in the timeline. You see it's now layer 1. So it's really, it's really easy to do. And then as it's opened, you see the Aviator 90 episode down below, but you also see it's now jumped from the media tab to the events tab, and it'll show you the URL. But it can also, that black line there, or the black, if you can see I'm changing it here, that actually is the entire content of the video. And you can see that it can actually change how much of the video gets portrayed. And so then I'll go ahead now and just, if I double click on it, there we go. A warning to all of you. For some reason, over the last day or so, my computer, my upload speeds have been really questionable, and here we go. Let's see.
It's interesting you should say that, because I've been having that problem for the past 2 days, significant problems with response time.
Yeah, and actually I wonder, have the rest of you been having that issue? Okay, so nothing like popcorn maker encountered an error. Yes, and yeah, load it back up. So there it is again. That's funny because I just an hour or two ago I tried it out. Okay, here we are. So it's working. And you can see actually part of it was, let me start that over. I was not fully on there. So here's the entire video. I'll only show, you know, a very brief clip of it, and then you can move it. You can move it forward to any particular place that you want. Again, it's your standard. But the interesting thing, if you go back over to the right-hand column, you can actually change where the video begins. So you see I'm moving it into 34, and then I hit it, and so you can literally take whatever part of the video you want, and you can compress it in using this slider column, or you can actually type in the timing. So if you've had videos that you're familiar with, you know, you can take sections from them. Another thing you can do is you can turn the video on and off. You can see here if you want to, for example, wow, this is being really unresponsive here.
Hey, Richard. Lee suggested earlier, and I don't know if you heard her, that sometimes you're sharing your video and your application sharing. That's going to take, you know, maybe that's going to impact your system resources. You might want to just turn your video webcam feed off. Might help. It's worth a try.
Okay. Yep, that's what I'll do. I was actually, it's funny you should mention that because I was thinking of that very same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the video. And let's see here. So, okay, there we are. We're back in. But you can regulate the volume on it so that you can do kind of background volumes. It will give you the clip and you know where you want to start it. Now, if you go back to the media, you can then re-click on events, and it'll now have new options for you. So I can add, let's say I want to add a pop-up, and if you see down below it says pop. I can write, this is a pop-up, and I can then move it around down below. You can see so that I can have it, I can lengthen it, I can you know, put it at whatever point I want, or I can add a layer here and then move these around so that I can, it's very intuitive, it's very easy to do. Go back to events. Here's one that I particularly like. So let's say here I've started the video, and this is going to be about flying. Okay, so I'm going to stop it here, and then you can see I can take the video itself and I can make it any particular size I want. And in this case, and then I can add things to it. So for example, Google Map. And I'll go ahead and I'll change Google Map to Homer, Alaska. And then I can kind of, if you double click on it, it becomes interactive. And then I can even I'll go over here to the Homer Airport, which you can see there, and I can do the map type, so I'll go to satellite. So now we have an actual picture of the Homer Airport, and I can use that to build my canvas up so that it's not limited to just showing the video. And I can have, so for example, let's say I was having a video where the plane was taking off or something, and I'll go ahead and stretch this get the map out, and I could say, well, here is where it's taking off from, and I can also add text here, so you can see. There we are. And over here in the editor on the right-hand side, I can change it. This is Homer Airport, you know, where the plane took off from. So I can add text to this, and if I want to change it, all I have to do, if like for example that popcorn there on the top, if you just hit delete, you can make it go away. So it's very, very easy to use. Let me go back over here. Homer Airport. So what I'd like for you guys to do, let me see if there's any other of these events. We'll get into loop, skip, and pause in a bit. Image, you can add an image to it as well. So in this case, and you can change it up. So now I'm moving it around. And so now I have my video would be a display of all four of these, but then I can, as I remove them, I can then have the video itself go back into full screen mode. So why don't you go ahead and play around with that a little bit, just get a feel for it yourself. Again, the great value of this is its simplicity. So has anyone given it a try? Has anyone been able to create anything?
I put a YouTube video in there, but now I'm experimenting with other videos. I have a website that I store a lot of videos on. It's called Screencast-O-Matic. And I'm trying, can I use a link out of that website and put it, it says YouTube. Does it have to be YouTube?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be YouTube. If you look on it on my screen right now, it's there's YouTube, Clip2Y, SoundCloud, Vimeo. If you have HTML5 media, you can also search. So, for example, if I wanted to, this is Fly AOA. So, and then I go and I hit, and now it'll actually search for particular video. Now, do you have your videos posted, or are they only like on your computer?
They're posted on Screencast. So when I put the link in Blackboard, so the students are linked over to Screencast to obtain the video. So do I give them the direct link to this, or do I give them the embedded code?
I would go with the embedded code, but that's an interesting question. And one of the things I wanted to say at the end of my presentation, but I'll say it now since it's appropriate. Anyone, I'm going to set up a community of practice site to explore both Popcorn, the interludeFM, and any others of these. And so this really is just a kind of a tickler today, an hour's worth, but anyone who's interested in working collaboratively on this space, I highly encourage you to do so. And I'll give you my contact information at the end. And I should have the community of practice site up within the next few days. But go ahead and explore that, and then it'd be interesting to see, because I don't see Screencast-O-Matic here, but it should be easily convertible over into HTML5 media. So let's explore that. Anybody else?
Yeah, Richard, I didn't realize you could do this and make the video smaller, so I've been playing around with putting multiple things on there at the same time. Yeah,
it's really kind of, now you can actually, put multiple videos on if you want. If you're, the audio might become an issue there, but I've already played around with it where the plane, the person is flying the plane up above, and then I did a scrolling map on the bottom. I actually used Screencast-O-Matic to capture the video, and so yeah, it's absolutely possible to have multiple videos playing at the same time. Again, as long as you're aware of any audio issues that are involved. Then, if you go back to events, you also see below image there you have loop, skip, and pause. So you can use that in your videos to where if you want something to play over multiple times, that's a loop. If you want to take a particular section out of your video, you can do that. What I've found with the skip that works really well is when you have the multiple videos and you take a section out and plug another video in. Because here, let me see if let me go ahead and grab another one here, another video, and then I can go back to media. I can paste that in. I can go get it. Come on. Oh, I thought that was a different one. Sorry. Here we go. Paste this in and get media. Wow, I'm really having issues here. So anyway, I'll just drag this other one in, and there you can see that video would take over, so that you can put it in this. You can move this up and down so that you can see more of the layers, but you can see how the higher up. This is in layer 2. So if you look right here. Here's the one I was using, and then all of a sudden it pops in and can throw in that other video, but but here you have the issue with the audio. But you can see it.
Turn off the audio for one of the videos?
Yes, you can. I just wanted to do that to kind of to highlight that. But yes, you can. If you remember on the media, let's see here. When you open that here, let's see. You can see down the volume. You see the volume control right there. So you can turn the volume off. And one of the things that I found this is really good to do is I put a music video in the background, and I put it down lower so that the video doesn't show, but the music will show, and then I can put it so that it's background music. That's something that works really well. In fact, let me see. I don't have a lot of time here, but let's see. So anyway, but you get the idea behind that. So that the thing is, you have to put it lower on the layers because certainly in terms of audio, they will play, the various audios will play, but the video does not show if one of these videos, here I'll take this one and put it down below, and then previously it had worked, now it won't show up. Let me jump over here. I'm amazed at how fast the time is going here. Okay, so the project, if you go over to project link, right, you go ahead and you see the save there, so you click on save, and you give give it a title, an AOA demo 2, let's call it. You can put tags on it. You can, if there's a thumbnail that you want to use, and when it'll show up, you can give it a description there. Okay, and so then I save it, and so now you can if you look at your name there, IdleDoc is my general username I have. There's My Makes, and you can click on My Makes, and it'll show you what videos that you've already produced. And so then you click on that, and now it'll actually run the video, and it'll run it as the canvas. It's not really, it doesn't have all of those components to it. It'll show up however you want it to show up. So here you have the video, and then as I move a little bit further along, there you can see that's so. Once it's saved, now you have a link to it. You can see the link right there. It's let me pause that. It's idledocmakes.org. Popcorn, and that's the number for it. And now it's it's an accessible video that you can share with your students, or
can you put that link into chat and we can go to it?
Sure. Yep, let's try that. That's a very good idea here. Okay. Why is that not working? I am definitely having issues with my machine here. It is not letting me copy and paste here. Copy. Okay, Blackboard Collaborate has encountered an exception. All right. Let me see what happens now. Copying it. Pop that back up. I'm not able to do that. Well, here. When all else fails. Popcorn 2G32. Okay, go see. That should be the correct address. Let's see, IdleDoc makes. Go see if that works for you guys. It should. I've used this before. Okay, cool, excellent. So again, so now you see it's getting created, and this is an open source community, and you know, so they share a lot of things. And I don't know, if any of you are programmers and if any of you use GitHub, you're familiar with the concept of forking? Anyway, what forking is where you actively share things. It's not just like, oh, somebody can go and take a bit of your code, but where your whole purpose is to allow other people to take what you're doing and use it in a way that benefits them. And so, for example, you might have a presentation and they would want part of the presentation and then just add some other things. And of course, usually it's done where you obviously you give people credit. This community, so if you do want to make if it's a proprietary video, then I would suggest you take it and copy it into another format and then remove it from the community. Okay, so let's see. So we'll go back to the original material here, and you can see there's the sharing, there's embedding, and here's the view source. And as I was saying before, all of the code for this is readily available. There it is, all right there. And if you have any knowledge, any background in coding, you can then take it and use it. And also up in the corner you see the webmaker.org. If you click on that, that will take you to the Mozilla WebMaker. And here is, you know, we teach the web, and there's quite a bit of training that goes on here. And as I was saying earlier, if you have something that you want to do and you're not sure how you can do it, you can jump into the community and they will be happy. I think this is something to do with my machine. It's now doing it several times. So anyway, so this is a good time for me I only have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to give you a very quick introduction to Interlude. Interlude is, back here, let me make sure. What Interlude does is actually brings interactivity to the web. And I'll show you an example of that. This is something called 3 elevators. And I'll go ahead and start it. And you see it's just a standard video. And now there's going to be some music starts playing. And I'll fast forward it here. You know, they start singing, and it's kind of funny because as it turns out, the guy is into the girl, but the girl is not into the guy. And so she's singing about that. But you can then click, if you click on 2, now you see it from his perspective, but it's all co-synchronous. It's all happening at the same time. Then I click over on 1, and now he's talking about how they'll be together, and it clicks back. And so the guy in the middle is so it's just a clever way of showing it. And now what I'll do is jump into, or go back to here, and this treehouse is where you create that. interludeFM is sort of the front end, and the back end is Treehouse. And the way Treehouse works is, here it's loading up. The way it works is that you can map video on this, and by mapping video, I mean you can take segments of the video. So let's open open a project, test game. And you can see, so what it does is you have all these various options that you can use over here, and then you can kind of drag them into, here are your video nodes. In fact, let me do one of their demos instead. It'll probably be quicker. But it allows you to take numerous video segments and I usually have a tutorial on here. Yeah, okay, actually we'll go back to the 3 elevators, and here you can learn how to make it. That's what I was looking for. They've moved it on me. And then again, it shows you the treehouse section. So here you see the initial video, the introduction video. And that's the thing, all 3 of those are being played at the same time, but you're only accessing them, but you're accessing them co-synchronously. And this is, again, can you hear the audio for this? I'm assuming you can. Okay, so I'm sorry. I thought you were having the video. So let me just very quickly go back then and tell you what's going on here. The video was playing and it was explaining it. So what it allows you to do is you have the start screen, and then you go up to your in Treehouse. You'll have the, I'll just open up the project, a new project, create from scratch, let's call it whatever. Oh, this is excruciatingly so. So here, you're seeing now the workspace, similar to Popcorn, obviously in a different setup, but here, you know, you can see the 2. Here is the layout, And on the 3 elevators one, the key difference is this thing. It's called parallel. And if you go back, you can see over here you have a bunch of, from your library, there are any number, oh, that's my library. There are any number of designs that you can choose from. Yeah, this is not, okay, here, so treehouse, and then, but what the parallel does is it plays all 3 videos at the same time, so that, you know, it's up to the viewer. The viewer can click. And one of the things that I've used this for, I've recently been doing a bunch of aviation training, and you can have one where there's, you know, you can see it from the pilot's viewpoint, you can see looking up at the plane, and then you can see the ground below. And each one of those things, you know, has a different perspective. Another thing that I could see this being used for is, you know, if you had a particular, let's say, you were doing chemistry and you had a chemical 3D display or something, you could look at it from different perspectives. You could see it at the molecular level, you could see it at the visual level, that sort of thing. And here, let me go back to this, but you can see over here, here's one that I was working with earlier, but you can see, you know, you put a bunch of different videos in here, and then as you need them, you can drag and drop them into your timeline. And in this case, the timeline is actually, it's not a singular, it's not a one-dimensional or two-dimensional, I suppose. It becomes, in essence, a three-dimensional timeline. And you can see all of the different options that you have. So anyway, and then again, menu layers and so forth. I'm essentially run out of time, but what I'd like to reiterate again is if anyone is interested in exploring this space, I'm going to be setting up a video community of practice site, and we can actually go in and work on these things together. But in some ways, I find the Popcorn.js the application that's most applicable now, but the interlude is sort of pointing us to the future. And it's free. In fact, most of they do have a priced version of it, but I found most of what is the value of it is in the free section, so you can use that. Okay, so let's see. Let me turn off the sharing. I know that Katie, you had asked about making sure we were off on time. So anyway, any thoughts, any questions, any ideas you'd like to share? Okay, evaluation, yes, sorry. Okay. Ah, you got it. You got it ahead of me. Okay. All right, so I was going to put that up, but there's the link, and you can go and fill it out. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Richard, since this is on automatic recording, we're trying to get everybody to exit as soon as the session's over, just to keep the recording short if we can.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I'll get off right now. Thanks, and thanks for all your help, Katie. I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. That was really good stuff. I need to make some time to play around with Interlude.